viewers, you're welcome to the maiden edition of BG series. Here we'll be talking anything and everything life, business, career growth. Today, we'll be doing a roundtable banter. My name is Tony and I have here with me beautiful guests. Let's meet them.
Hello viewers, my name is Sandra and I'm a lawyer.
Hello viewers, my name is Ronald. I'm a human resource officer.
Hello everyone, I'm Nafisa Shamsuddin. I'm a content editor and a learning and development specialist.
Hi everyone, my name is Anu. I'm a recruitment specialist.
Adura Bumi is my name. I'm an HR generalist and a fashion designer.
Hi viewers, my name is Christiana. I'm an HR executive and an entrepreneur.
Thank you guys for joining me today. You're welcome to the BG series. Today, we'll be talking about something very interesting. So we want to know your opinion on what you think. Would you rather work with a male boss or a female boss? So it's titled Male Bosses or Female Bosses. So I want to hear from Christiana. Would you rather work with a male boss or a female boss?
Thank you. I actually needed to be a little bit dramatic because I think female bosses, to me, they're usually dramatic. The few ones that I've worked with, there's usually one or two problems with them. I don't know, maybe it is just a norm with the female gender. So I would rather prefer to work with the male bosses. Reasons being that, firstly, when it comes to the male bosses, they give room for self-improvement. They accept, they give room for self-innovations. They welcome your ideas and they allow you to exhibit it with little or no interference.
So you said female bosses are dramatic.
Yeah, sometimes it could be. I just have to start with that. I just have to start with that.
It's not restricted to the female gender alone.
Let's
Everyone
hear
can
from
be
you,
dramatic.
Sandra.
Okay.
What do you think?
Okay, Tony, as you know, in today's corporate world, I'll start by saying that in today's corporate world, there are fewer ladies or females occupying leadership positions or bosses in different industries or companies.
Right.
Not because they are not qualified, not because they are not competent, or not because they don't know the job, but because I keep saying there's this glass barrier the society has created.
Against women?
Yes.
Okay.
Crediting being the best bosses to men or to the males. But I can tell you, out of my own experience, and statistically too, and in reality, that female...
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, so you really haven't answered my question. So
Exactly.
I asked you, would you rather work with a male boss or a female boss?
I just wanted to wet the ground
Okay.
before I land.
Interesting.
So
Alright.
I'd rather work with female bosses or a female boss right now. Because one thing I have noticed with female bosses, the ones I have worked with, remember everything I'm saying is based on my experience.
Mm-hmm.
They are more empathetic.
They're more what? Empathetic.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's easier for me. I don't know about other people. I don't know about other women. I don't know about other employees.
Okay.
It was much easier for me, as at the time I was working with a female boss, to just walk up to her and tell her, okay, ma'am, I'm not sure I'm up for work today or tomorrow. Can you grant me a leave of absence? Especially we women, there are times when we know what's going on in our systems. We don't have to really come to the lady and tell her and give her tutorials on our anatomy. She understands. Yes, she understands. And she'll, okay, Sandra, take the day off and all that.
What about if you're not taking the day off? If you're at work, who would you prefer? Who would you rather
I'll
work
still
with?
prefer the female work environment, the female.
So let's take all that, the anatomy, the female anatomy, let's take it aside for a bit. So if you're at work, if you're to perform, who would you rather learn from? Who would you rather work with?
I'll learn from the female. I'll work with the female. Because the female, or women generally, are community builders. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. It's very easy for a woman to, work hand in hand with her team or the employees just to get a task done. So right here, we're not talking about, it's not a case of too many chiefs and not enough Indians. She can just say, okay, do this, Sandra do this, Anu do this, Tony do this, and then she's also supervising, thereby empowering you, encouraging you, inspiring you at the same time. I didn't say a man can't do that. I'm just saying, based on my own experience.
Okay.
I think we're in different worlds.
Of course we are. I'm sure there are.
Are you currently working with a man or a woman?
I'm working with a man and a woman.
Okay, so if you were to choose, who would you really stick with?
Don't put me in this position.
You're actually meant to choose. For real. So it's male bosses or female bosses. So you can't go with both. You have to choose.
Female.
Yeah, she chose.
Yeah, I'll choose the female, yes.
Okay, what do you think, Anu?
Okay, for me, I'll choose a male boss. So basically, I've been opportunity to work with 4 people, presently and in the past, 4 in total. And luckily, it's on a ratio of 2 to 2. Okay. So for me, I'll choose a male. Based on experience, working with the female, well, it wasn't bad, should I say? Yeah, it wasn't bad. But for the male, it was way better. Way, way better. So that's why I said maybe we're from 2 different worlds. So for me, it was the other way around. The men were more understanding based on the fact that, oh, this is what women go through. This is what my wife goes through. This is what my sister goes through.
I totally disagree with that.
That's my own experience, like I said. So
Yeah.
for me, compared to the female, while one of the female was more of, I'm a female like you. I survived this. Do you get? I survived this. This is what I go through. It's not a big deal. Do you
Yeah, it
understand?
depends on the
It's not a big
personality of
deal.
the person.
Yeah, so for me, it was the other way around. Actually, I'll choose a male.
You sort
over
of
the
had
female.
this, I've been there.
Yes, I've
done
been
that.
there. What are you doing? What do you mean? What's new? What are you experiencing that I've not gone through?
And
Do you-
what are you talking about? You're still talking about the female anatomy.
The thing is, you can't take it out completely, because at the end of the day, it's not just about work. Welfareism of your staff, one way or the other, also reflects in their work. If they're not doing well outside work, in the work area too, the result might not be possible.
So what about on the other days? Okay, so you're having your circle. You're having a woman actually has a full circle all through the month. So are you saying because of that, because of the understanding, because of the circle?
No, I'm not just saying, okay, let me leave the female anatomy outside back. So for me, working with the male boss,
has it been easier to learn from a woman or the man?
it's been easier for me to learn from a man.
From a man, yeah.
I have this comfort of asking even when I'm not clear about something. And basically, experience everything. I would choose a man over any woman.
I believe
Yes,
it's
I
easier
will.
for a female to learn from, like, if you're a female employee, it's easier to learn from a female boss because you can relate with her. She serves as a form of inspiration to you. Because, like, when I was working with a male boss, I never actually, I was not really, I was motivated to do more, but I wasn't really motivated to, be like him, to establish something.
Because he looked like a superhero.
Yeah, because I couldn't actually relate to him on a certain level.
Okay.
But for females, you'd want to, you see yourself at that age, and you'd want to actually aspire to have established something as big as what she has done at that age. So I believe that it is easier for a female employee, most especially, to learn if you have a female boss. But for men also, I believe that the reason why it will be easier for men to learn from female bosses is because they, aside from married ones, they've not actually be opportune because of our society to actually relate with females like that because of some segregations like male and female. So they would be it would be like a new experience for them to actually learn from another perspective of the opposite gender.
Are you sure? Adura, would you rather... I want to hear from Adura. Would you... So, coming from what she said, that men would rather... Or she thinks that men find it easier to learn from from women, beg your pardon. So what do you think?
For me, I would prefer a male boss. I actually would not agree with what...
You prefer to learn from a man?
Exactly, because naturally, the male gender... We are more patient than the female gender.
I don't agree with that.
When it comes to,
I don't agree with that.
When we talk about multitasking, I'll give it to the lady. So they have a whole lot in there. But the male boss is focused, so when it comes to knowledge sharing, they take their time to pass down knowledge. Yes. But the female boss, all that she wants is just for you to meet deadlines, get it done. Because there's a whole lot in her head, get it done. But you see the female boss, they won't give you time to try your own ideas,
is that from
explore.
experience?
What do you have upstairs? Bring it to the table. Let's let's work with it. If you actually fail, at least you've
So
learned.
the man will give you a listening ear, and
Of
you're saying the
course,
woman
yes.
would not give
so
you a
Is
far
that from
that
your
I've
own
worked with
experience? That's from
Yes,
your own
from his
experience.
experience.
Obviously,
Okay, let's hear from
From my
Ronald.
LinkedIn
Let's hear from
experience,
Ronald.
let's say prior to November, before I changed my workplace, I worked with 3 female bosses.
At the same time,
At the same time, yeah, they were different departments, and
Like
I headed
hierarchies.
different. Yeah. So based on my work role, I was assigned to different departments. So each of these departments had a female boss. Yeah, and a woman is managing each of these departments. So I worked with them, and my experience has been awesome. Now, till this date, they've been my top boss so far.
Amazing.
Yeah, everything. They
Okay.
gave me that room to work, and they advised me, encouraged me to bring up, if I have ideas, they encouraged me to come.
So three female bosses.
three-
There
and
were
I
no male bosses in that.
No, they were not. So it's kind of a Catholic establishment. And, sisters, sisters. So. No, it doesn't change the fact. Yeah, they are females, of course.
And were you able to actually learn some things from them?
Of course, yeah. When I
Did you
joined
find
them,
it easier to-
before I was not really into that ICT department. So when I started with them, the person in charge of the ICT department, she put me through all the basic steps and everything I needed to, achieve my goals as an ICT admin at the institution. Then as for the farm manager, they were helpful throughout my
So
time
prior
there.
to that employment, were you?
Yeah, prior to that, it was a
worked
new
with
boss,
any?
yeah, but he was a friend, so we were like parties,
So what's your preference now?
Yeah, for me, if I'm asked, I don't have a preference.
You have to. You have to have
my
a preference.
preference is for the personal traits of an individual. But if I'm to choose, any day I want to work for
With a woman?
those my bosses. Yeah,
No, not those your bosses.
yeah.
A
Because
woman.
that's what I said. That personal, they have this personal trait I liked about them. A male boss can be bad, a female boss can be bad. But then when you find one that has that balance between hands-on and hands-off, like they give
you
provide
time to work.
To work. They can supervise you, but also know when to give you time to work on your own.
No
That's what I need.
micromanaging.
It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. As long as they give you that safe environment to work, it's okay for me. But if I must choose based on experience, well,
So going by what you just said, when we talk about micromanagement, I feel the male boss will be my
They're
preference
lenient.
because
They're very lenient.
exactly they don't box employees like that. But you see the female bosses, it's
Box employees.
personal issues.
are you saying this from experience or from what you heard?
No, from experience
worked on
actually.
that
From
female
experience,
boss?
yes. Okay, I've worked in a company where the person I report to, my line manager is a female, and she also reports to the HR director is also a female. So it's 3 female bosses. Then, in fact, the only male.
And you felt caged.
The only male. So it was L.
Are you sure it
At some
wasn't?
point,
Are you
I
sure?
wanted to
Are
even leave the
you
organization.
sure it wasn't a stereotype in your mind? Are you sure it wasn't?
Okay, it
because
wasn't
you
because
saw
I've not worked with a female.
So you saw that
I've not
woman.
worked with a female boss before then. So it was
So what was the problem?
It wasn't a bias.
So what was
mind
the
or
problem?
something.
What was
so
the problem?
it was more like they expect that you should know this, you should know how to run this, you should know.
Is
how
it
to
based
fix
on
this.
the gender, or do you think it was just what they expected from the role? What do you think?
Okay, before I joined, it was a female. So the replacement was, they were expecting a female, but unfortunately it was
got a male.
that was successful.
Okay, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Thank you, guys.
Bridge Gap Consults, revamping the workforce.